And the other thing too with that is that a lot of times those recyclables that they take in, the odd plastics 3 through 7, they don't recycle those because there's just not enough commodity dollars coming out of that. So they just toss that stuff and really only generate their income from plastics 1 and 2.
We don't have a landfill. We don't have a dumpster, so everything we get we have to recycle. And we painted ourselves into that corner because we wanted to be genuine about what we do. We find a place for everything. If we can't recycle it, at least it gets placed in the right place to be refurbished or something like that. So we go through great efforts to make sure that everything gets placed where it needs to go.
So we do recycle all 1 through 7. We're able to find a source for all of those plastics.
Okay.
That are not readily recyclable by other larger companies. But certain things like styrofoam, you know, you would need a huge amount of volume to find someone to take that stuff. So most of the time what we do is try to go to a mailbox, etc., or UPS store where they could possibly reuse it if it's clean stuff for packaging.
But I mean, in particular, the food industry uses so much of that. So I still can't grasp how there can't be enough styrofoam out there to be.
Well, there is enough to recycle, but the problem with it is, in the industry of recycling, is shipping. Styrofoam is extremely light. Trucking is extremely expensive. So if you fill up a truck with styrofoam, you basically have nothing in it. What we've been researching is alternative measures for styrofoam. This company, for instance, makes all of their products are biodegradable. These are biodegradable coffee cups, biodegradable plastic containers. Actually, this is made from cornstarch. There's alternative opportunities, but these opportunities are more expensive. So what we're looking to do in the future is leverage all of our clients' buying power so they can afford to have these either free. We'll be able to distribute them to the restaurants for free because the advertisers have paid for the cost, or they will at least be the same price that they're paying for styrofoam now. So our goal is, as a small recycling company, is to inform our clients and organize them in the way that would empower them to do better for themselves economically and environmentally by purchasing a better product.
Well, and I think too, it's about encouraging our clients to, if they use a vendor that only packs their stuff in styrofoam, the larger we get, the more leverage we have. You know, we can say, okay, whatever company it is, you know, we have all of these clients, they're all buying stuff from you, but they don't want the styrofoam. So change your packaging. Consider something that is better for the environment.
So how large is this facility?
Say that again.
How large is this facility?
We have about 15,000 square feet of 15,000 cubic feet of storage space here. And
hi, Marcus.
Live by what we preach in the market. Everything that we use here is recycled. All of our containers are recycled. The sorting table which we built was made out of all scrap metal that was here in this building when we got here. So we use it and fabricated this table for the process. When the recyclables come in that are commingled, they get placed on this table and they get sorted into various containers here. Once those containers are full, they're staged on the other side of the table and they get loaded onto the vehicles and sent over to the processors. We don't do any crushing or anything like that here. Basically collecting, sorting, and distributing to larger processors.
Okay, so you don't try to compact it at all before the shipping?
It's really not necessary also because the place is so close to us.
The problem is that the machine that it takes to melt that stuff down is a couple $100,000, which essentially you will never make up because the volume that you'll have to get of styrofoam to melt it down, you will never be able to get. There's just not enough. You're not getting enough of the end product out to recoup those costs that you would have to invest to do that. We have heard about some research that is being done about orange oil being sprayed. It was inadvertently being sprayed on the styrofoam just to kill some smell in the dumpster. And when they came back, basically the orange oil had deteriorated all of the styrofoam. So there seems like there are some natural ways to kind of break it down instead of having a huge machine and doing all of that stuff. but I don't know that anyone is really doing it. And the only way to really change that is to get more people involved, more people that have a lot of consumption who are using it, to say, okay, we don't want this.
Over in this section is primarily paper. We have newspaper, mixed paper, and white paper. And it comes in every day in bags and containers, and we sort it out, and we end up putting it inside the large bags. In the back, you see all these mattresses. Most of those come from IKEA, old used mattresses that they had in their facilities. In this area is primarily electronics and metal and that sort of thing.
So the scrap metal, this kind of thing that doesn't have a number and has a lot of different parts and components?
Well, there's a lot of different types of scrap metal. So there's, well, two basic types, ferrous and non-ferrous. Ferrous metal, magnets can stick to. Non-ferrous metal, magnets don't stick to. Non-ferrous would be aluminum, copper, brass, that sort of thing. Ferrous metal is iron, tin, steel, all those different types of steel. And then there's different, steel number 1, steel number 2. It doesn't have markings on it, but the people in the scrap metal business know exactly what it is.